Ben from Skillard here. In this video we're going to take a look at our S30 billet hood emblems or hood badges with titanium inlay. We have a bunch of different colors and engraving options, so take a look at those at Skillard.com. But yeah, I'm going to show you what comes in the kit and kind of the process on how to go about getting that put on. Alright, so after I get the package unwrapped, pull it out. This is one of the billet backers that is powder coated black. They're also available tumbled raw. It's a little hard to see, but you can see that there's the beveled angle in the back, so that way it goes over the crest of the hood that's there. If you had something flat on the back, it would rock and have a big gap on one side or gap on both sides. You can kind of see here in the back there's threaded holes. Those are for the provided M3 screws. Also on the face side, there's a little bit of the inlay there. We have the 3M VHB tape. So VHB, very high bond. So you really kind of, one of the things I wanted to really point out is that you really only get one go at this. And so you want to make sure that when you put the inlay in, it's straight, it's clocked correctly. So we'll take a look at the car too, but what we're going to do is we're going to take the badge and actually install it on the car first before we put the inlay in. This is just one of the examples. The titanium with the silver titanium with the Datsun engraving. Lots of different color options that you can see on the site, Skillard.com. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out of the bag, grab our hardware, we'll touch base on that, and then we'll kind of go about the process of putting it actually on the car. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to point out with the hardware is that there's 3 of each one, and if you look, you only need 2. The reason is because this is so small, if you happen to drop and lose something, you got an extra, basically. So these are little teeny M3 screws. We got a flat washer. These are a split lock washer, which is what we're using, but might come with a star type lock washer. Either way, lock washer. And so when you go to put these on, you'll put the lock washer on, the screw, and then the flat washer on. They'll insert from the back side of the hood, poke out, and then we'll worry about getting them threaded into here. And like I said, when we go look at the car, we'll get a little more into that. But then once this is, again, I want to make sure you put the badge on first to make sure that you have it sitting on the car in the correct orientation. And then what you're going to want to do is when you go to put the inlay in, you know, it could be clocked incorrectly. So what I like to do is carefully peel the red backer off the tape, so that way the rest of the tape stays on the billet backer there. And then after this again is already installed in the car, I will actually like to come in and have this tipped up ever so slightly. Let me see if I can get along the side. So like I got the bottom edge that you can see, like where my thumb is in, and then I ever so slightly have the top edge up. And if you need an extra set of eyes to help you with this, to ensure that you have it clocked so it's straight on your car, then I would do that, because you can see here I can still rotate this pretty easily. Obviously I haven't pulled the tape backing off yet, but I was still able to rotate this. So you're going to want to rotate it to make sure it's straight before you drop it, because once you drop it in, it's in. It'll not want to come out, because as soon as it sucks into that tape, it's on there. So you go ahead and set it in place. Make sure this is clocked. You know, I'm going to wiggle it. Okay, maybe have somebody stand back if you feel like you're a little too close. Is that straight? You know, overall it's relatively easy, but you just have to make sure that you're aware that once you drop it in, it's in, and that you get it set straight so you're happy with the orientation. So like I said, once it's already on the car and I have it clocked where I want, the red tape backers peeled off, everything's ready to go. Boop, drop it in, and from that point you're really not going to be able to get it out, but you can then also apply pressure to it to ensure that you get that really good adhesion with the VHB tape. So figured it was a little easier to show you that on the workbench, but then I'll go and reference how we're going to actually process to install this in the hood. It's pretty straightforward, but a few little tricks that I found make it easier from the couple that I've put on. Alright, so here I am at one of the parts cars. You can see it's got the factory holes there for the emblem. Got our one of the helpers is here, so we should be good to go. I have done this, installed this by myself. It is easier with the second person. So I might go grab a set of hands here in a second, but let's see if I can get this zoomed. So I got that little M3 screw. It takes a 2mm Allen wrench to thread that, and you know that should be in any standard metric set. So I got the lock washer on there first, which is hard to see, and then the flat washer. And then from the back side, there's one of the holes. You're going to reach in there and you're going to pop it through. And so that's one of the things that's really the hardest part, is getting it in there. But you can kind of see how I have it kind of pinched, where I have the washer underneath my index finger and then just the head of the screw under my thumb. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in, and then I'm going to hold it there. I'm going to use this is my right hand obviously, then I'm going to grab my left hand, and I'm actually going to grab the threads from the outside to hold it in place. Well, then I position the badge. And so I can have all the parts set up, you know, on the car, so I can just do it all from this one spot, or I can go ahead and grab a second set of hands to help me. So it is easier with a second set of hands, but like I said, put one of these on by myself and it wasn't too bad. Okay, so you can see I got the screw popped out in here, and so then what I'll do is I'll grab those threads with my, in this case, left hand. The other side I'd switch to go to right hand. And then as I'm holding this threads from the outside, then I don't have to worry about the screw falling out, and I can get my Allen wrench on there so I can get ready to turn it. There you go. Switch hands with the phone. So I've got... a little hard to see, but I'm holding on to the threads there. So then I can come back around on the inside and get my Allen wrench on there. So I've got my arm here, got my Allen wrench, it's on the head. So it's doing the holding now. And you can kind of see, like, I can rotate that. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the badge, and I'm going to line one of the holes up on the badge to that screw. Obviously I need to make sure that it's the threads are square to the threads in the threads on the screw are square to the threads in the badge, so that way I don't cross thread anything. But I'll go ahead and get the one side started, and then I'll repeat the process on the other side. Alright, so got a second set of hands now helping with the phone part. So I have the threaded hole here, and I'm going to bring that hole and line it up to the threads, and then nope, not quite. So I got to make sure that I orient, like I said, the threads on the screw to the threads on the badge to ensure that it's square, so that way I can get it started. Because I can feel it start, and if I was going to overdo it, I might accidentally cross thread it, and that's what I want to try to avoid. Alright, so I got it started, and then it's loose here. So again, you can have a second set of hands hold that in place, or I'm going to drop that out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and put the screw in the other side like we did this first one. Do that process again, then go ahead and tighten both of the screws down, and then we'll go to the inlay badge orientation and drop in next. Okay, so the astute viewers will notice that this one's not black, this is billet, and the hood's a little different color. That's because this is another one that we've got sitting on, and I just thought I'd just run over here real quick. It doesn't have the VHB tape in it either, but I just wanted to touch base on the coining or the inlay orientation. So like I had mentioned, now that it's on, you know, I'm going to clock this to ensure that I get it straight the way I want it. And you know, as the bottom edge is in, and that does the it works with having that bottom edge in, even with the tape in there, and I still am able to rotate it. And then once I get it perfect to where I want it, drop it in, press it down. Once it's in, you can get it back out without the tape or without the tape peeled, but once the tape's peeled, which ultimately you'll need to do, and drop that in, it's in there for good. And so one thing you might even try doing is do a couple little practice orientations before you peel the tape backer off. So that kind of gives you the rundown of our billet hood emblems with the titanium inlays. And so these are available from Skillard.com. If you have any questions, please email sales@skillard.com.